According to People magazine, Sean Diddy Combs has been placed on suicide watch as he awaits trial. And according to the outlet, they're saying that his mental state is unclear. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So yesterday we reported to you multiple stories in regards to Diddy. As you know, he has been denied 2 times, once by the magistrate judge and now by the district judge that would oversee his case, bail. They're saying that they believe he's a flight risk. They also believe that he will be in contact and threaten witnesses. Yesterday, one of the things that we didn't get a chance to report to you was that Assistant U.S. Attorney revealed text messages from some of his victims that expressed, yeah, this man is dangerous and should not be free. One of the other things that we haven't mentioned to you is that the prison that Diddy is staying in was the same prison that someone like R. Kelly stayed in. This prison has been known to be one of the most inhumane. This was also another reason why Diddy's attorney wanted to get him out of prison as soon as possible. Sidebar. The fact that we know that this prison is inhumane and it still exists and it's still ongoing, I get it. These folks have done probably some of the worst things in the world, but treating them like animals, are we expecting to really rehabilitate them or just make them suffer? Just asking a question. But this news came overnight that Diddy has been placed on suicide watch. And I want to just go through this and then we can break down what I think this could be. So People magazine writes this in their exclusive. They said Sean Diddy Combs is on suicide watch as he awaits trial in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, sources tell People. Combs, as you know, who's 54 years old, was arrested at a Manhattan hotel in the night of Monday, September 16th. The next day, his indictment was unsealed, revealing that he's charged with trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He was remanded to MDC on Tuesday, September 17th, after pleading not guilty and being denied bail twice this week. It's not known if Combs is suicidal or how long he has been on suicide watch. Sources tell People that it is a preventative measures as Combs is in shock and his mental state is unclear. I could see his mental state being in shock because if you have gotten away with some of what they're accusing him of for decades and people have allowed that, like you literally have gotten away with a lot. We were talking about this yesterday in regards to Shine and Shine going to prison for him allegedly. Like at every turn, this man has gotten away with things. Even with the Cassie of it all and all that coming out, I think in his mind, he got away with it. So I can see him going into prison. And first of all, I don't know all the things. I've only watched on television some of what you go through when you are remanded to a place like this place. The search, the stripping of it. Like you don't have your chef, you don't have your assistants, you don't have your money, you don't have your freedom. We should also keep in mind what he could be going through is also withdrawal. Literally, according to reports, a pink powder was found at his hotel. There have been accusations in this unsealed indictment of drug use, heavy drug use, including himself. So that makes you wonder what he could be going through mentally. You're going through the loss of your freedom, a whole new situation, and you possibly could be going through withdrawal. That could be a whole combination of reasons why he's been placed in this particular watch. According to the U.S. Department of Justice National Institute of Corrections, suicide watch is, quote, supervisory precautions taken for suicidal inmates that require frequent observation. One of the questions asked during the SDNY's press conference on Tuesday, someone asked about Jeffrey Epstein and how Jeffrey Epstein died. And they were wondering, is this a concern for the SDNY?
Ben Kochman, Post.
Hey, thanks for doing this. Your office was the office that had been prosecuting Jeffrey Epstein before he died in custody. I have not read your detention memo yet. It's the first thing I'm going to do after this ends. But does the memo address, or is your office concerned with Combs's safety in custody, given what happened with Epstein?
So we are concerned with anyone's safety whenever they are detained prior to trial. It's part of our obligations to keep people safe as well. It's part of the criminal justice system. So, but I do not draw any sort of connection between Jeffrey Epstein's suicide and what may or may not happen to any other defendant while they are detained pre-trial. And of course, the decision whether to detain the defendant will be up to a judge. Our position is that pretrial detention is warranted under the law and based on the facts of this case, and I'll leave it at that.
The SDNY, because there have been rumors that that wasn't Jeffrey Epstein taking his own life. The conspiracy theory, which I thought was interesting that a journalist is asking this, the conspiracy theory is that he was taken out. So they were asking the SDNY, are you guys putting in precautionary measures for something like that? And they downplayed that. So People magazine reached out to the Bureau of Prisons and SDNY. During a court hearing, Combs' attorney asked the judge for the music mogul to be transferred to a prison in Essex County in New Jersey. The decision was ultimately put in the hands of the Bureau of Prisons. People reached out to Combs' attorney for comment. MDC, which houses 1,600 inmates, many of whom are awaiting trial, is known for being dangerous and understaffed, with a high number of deaths and suicides. In their motion for Combs to be granted bail, his attorneys wrote that, quote, several courts in this district have recognized that the conditions at Metropolitan Detention Center are not fit for pretrial detention, per the Daily Beast. It sounds like it's not fit for human capacity, like no one should be in there. Just earlier this summer, an inmate was murdered, the legal team added. At least 4 inmates have died by suicide there in the past 3 years. In the indictment against Combs, he was accused of forcing victims to have freak-offs, which prosecutors described as elaborate and produced sex performances. He allegedly used his fame and influence, as well as drugs like et cetera, we're not going to go through that, to coerce and intimidate women to join the freak-offs. Additionally, the freak-offs were sometimes allegedly captured on camera without the victim's knowledge. Federal investigators seized 3 AR-15s, rifles, and 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant when raiding his Miami and Los Angeles homes this past March. Another conference hearing for Diddy is set for Tuesday, September 24th at 10 a.m. Of course, their due diligence, People magazine, provides you with the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. I'll post that in the description for anyone that might need it. As I said to you before, I think this could be a combination of reasons. I think this could be withdrawal. I could think that this could be complete shock that he's in this position now at this particular point in his life. You don't go from getting the key to New York just a couple of years ago to now completely potentially losing everything. We recently did a collaboration with Stephanie St. Alban. Be sure to check that out, because if you're looking for an attorney to break down some of your questions, that is exactly what we did in that video. This situation for Diddy is not looking good. The amount of evidence that they have alone, we don't see a plea deal happening here. As you can see, he's been denied bail twice. There's a lot. And one of the things that she mentioned in the video that we did is that racketeering, conspiracy for racketeering, she says it doesn't take a lot to prove. And that has a sentence of life in prison. He's facing a minimum of 15 years in prison based off the 3 counts. So I don't know if the drugs are and he's going through withdrawal. I don't know if it's just really like, wow, this is where I am at this particular point in my life. Or it's not just not having your freedom. I just can't imagine it. I know a lot of people are saying, woo, 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 Diddy, you, based off what we read in Cassie's lawsuit alone, what we saw from the video footage, you deserve everything that's coming to you. But like I said, I still believe that even in prison, you should be in humane conditions. One of the things that I was thinking of, though, when I first saw this report, I don't know a lot about prison, and please feel free to share this, and this might be a question that I asked Stephanie, is if you are under this particular watch, does this also mean that you are, I believe he was already separated. When you're a high-profile person, he's not amongst the general public. Because I did see a former warden say that he's not safe in this particular prison. He's not safe in prison at all, because for a person to take him out in prison is actually sort of like a trophy. But I can't imagine that they have him amongst the general population in this prison. I don't know. They could, for all I know. He could also have enemies literally in there. We don't know what's been happening behind the scenes when it comes to Diddy. But I'm wondering if putting him under this watch actually is another level of protection for him. So that, first of all, there are more eyes on him. There are, maybe he has said or done things because of withdrawal, which has put him in this watch. I don't know. But that's the feeling that I'm getting. I'm not surprised by this. If you've been following any of these pop culture stories where high profile people go into prison, this is usually what happens within days of them going in. And reality sets in if they were on medications and things like that, illegal medications and drugs. These things happen. We're going to continue to follow this story, guys. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes.